Hello, and welcome to Simon Fraser University's Convocation, June 2025. The ceremony will begin shortly. Please find and stay in your seat and keep the aisleways clear. This is required by fire regulation. We expect a full house today. We kindly ask you to move and fill in empty seats to allow others to sit down. For your enjoyment and safety during the ceremony, please listen to a few important announcements. In the case of an emergency evacuation, follow the directions of event personnel to the assembly point, which is located down the stairs behind you on the track and field. Please proceed slowly and carefully. Those with accessibility needs should proceed to the Halpern Center, located northeast of Convocation Mall. Today's ceremony schedule and program book can be found online. Please use the QR code with your phone camera app to view the information. Reusable water bottles, SFU blankets, and other gifts are available for purchase at the Spirit Shop in the Maggie Benston Center, which is on your right. Near there, you'll find a water refill station too. Flower bouquets are available for purchase from the back of Convocation Mall and from the north side of Freedom Square. Professional graduation photos are also available for purchase from the James Douglas Study Area, located under the stairs behind me. With today's cooler weather, we invite those who are cold to move to the Diamond Family Auditorium, located on your right, to watch the live stream of the ceremony. If you need to leave at any point during the ceremony, please use the exits located at the back of Convocation Mall and ensure that you've had your hand stamped. If you require assistance or have questions, please do not hesitate to ask one of our student ushers who are dressed in black gowns. And on this celebratory day, we encourage you to share your photos and messages on social media using #MySFUGrad. Thank you. Friends, I am honored to present members of the 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band. Friends, Convocation June 2025 will begin shortly. We expect a full house today. We kindly ask you to move and fill in empty seats to allow others to sit down. For your enjoyment and safety during the ceremony, please listen to a few important announcements. As a courtesy to all graduates and guests, please remain seated and keep the aisleways clear for the duration of the ceremony. This is required by fire regulation. In the case of an emergency evacuation, follow the directions of event personnel to the assembly point, which is located down the stairs behind you on the track and field. Please proceed slowly and carefully. Those with accessibility needs should proceed to the Halpern Center, located northeast of Convocation Mall. Today's ceremony schedule and program book can be found online. Please use the QR code with your phone camera app to view the information. With today's cooler weather, we invite those who are cold to move to the Diamond Family Auditorium, located on your right, to watch the live stream of the ceremony. In consideration of other guests, we ask that you refrain from conversation during the ceremony and please put your cell phones on silent. And for those near and far, we encourage you to share photos and messages on social media using #MySFUGrad. Friends, the ceremony is about to begin. Please turn your attention to the screens. Now, I'm pleased to introduce the graduating class of June 2025. Friends, if you're able, please rise for the platform party.
SCI, please have a seat. Shakswayatsam Queen Sna, Shakswayatsam's my ancestral name. That song that we shared with you is a very powerful song, and it comes from the House of Kluas in Niabay, Makah Nation, down the States. It's been shared with our canoe family, the Squamish-Osha canoe family, since 2002, and we share it with pride to you. We also want to acknowledge Madam Chancellor, Madam President, you have honorary degrees. We also do here. We want to introduce our honorary canoe member, William Chan Gill. Give him a hand. Our canoe family wants to thank SFU as well as the event coordinating staff. They did such an amazing job. We've been here all week to honor what you do here for the students and that. And we're just honored and thankful for the invitation. Osiam.
Chen Quinn Mentomi, Tenoyapan in Sequero to Squals to Seats. I was like coming up to all my family and I went, I don't recognize that young man. And then I went, oh, actually I do. And I was like, welcome to the Fat Canoe family. So, Sequalia Quishaman Sna, my ancestral name is Sequalia. I'm also known as Anwanik, and I'm a Squamish Ogwi'low'gwa. So Yoyokwa, I'm a Squamish Nation elder, and all of the canoe family are my relatives, very close blood to all of them. And so it's always an honor to do the convocations with them. And I'm here also as the Indigenous Student Center elder in residence from Squamish Nation, and I'm an alumni of SFU, Indigenous Business and Leadership, Beatty School of Business, and have my MBA. I was the oldest student, and same when I got my bachelor's, I was the granny of the group. And it just proves that my granny always told me in elders, you never stop believing until the day you leave this earth. And so, and I always say I'm the elder in residence for the president and the chancellor, and here at events for them. And so I say Kayachtan, which in our language means welcome to the ancestral traditional territory of Squamish-Ogwi'low'gwa, Squamish Nation, and also our family in Tsleil-Waututh and Coquitlam and Musqueam. And I raise my hands, and when we do this, it means welcome, and it always means thank you. And I thank you, say, on Halthan Squalwin, Quisclake, Quichnomi, to Noyop and NCI, to Squals to Seats. I'm really glad to see that you all came here today, all of you, my friends, as we come together to celebrate these students and their achievements. Aren't you so happy that you're graduating today? I remember when I was doing my MBA, I would be doing projects, assignments, and get them in like 5 or 10 minutes before the deadline for submission. And I would take a picture of the note that said, you've successfully downloaded your assignment. So that if they said anything, I'd say, I have a picture, I have proof. Here's my receipt. My daughter always says, show your receipts. And so I really am proud of all of you. And then I always like to share a teaching because we're coming together for a good gathering here today to be able to share the teaching of our Coast Salish people that my grandfather, Sequalton Dominic Charlie, shared with me. Since I was real little, he always shared the teaching. It's our teaching that every human being has an inner energy. This inner energy, he said, was like yin and yang. He was born in 1882, and he knew a lot of the people coming, especially those who came to build the railroad, and became friends with them. Because I was surprised, he said that energy is like yin and yang, always moving in us. Every human being has it. And we receive from Creator in the top of our head into our energy. And people told me, when I'd say, oh, I have this ailment or that ailment, and they'd say, you should get a chakra stone. And I'd go, what's chakras? And then I'm an avid bookworm and can speed read, so I went in indigo. I didn't want to buy a book, but I grabbed the book on chakras and speed read when they used to have chairs in there, what chakras were. Didn't take me long. And found out that chakras, they believe that you receive energy from the higher power in the top of your head to your third eye to all the 7 chakra points in your body. And I was like, that's our teaching, inner energy. And he said, this energy, it helps your squalwin, feelings in your heart, mind, spirit, your total being, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness. And it connects us to the sun, the moon. Women as life givers know our connection to the moon, the stars, everything in the air, on the land, and in the water. And we can send our energy to each other. And people say, prayer warriors, pray for my relative. And we all start praying and sending spiritual prayers with our energy to them. And every human being has this. And he said, if you believe in it, you can fix yourself. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I always tell students, pray to your inner energy when you're struggling on an assignment. And believe in it. Take a break and come back and do it. And some have said, it helped. I now believe in it. And then in 1980, I think it was, 81, they showed Star Wars 1 again with Luke and Obi-Wan and Chewbacca. And I went and saw it with my 4-year-old son and my late son and my nephew's son, Jonathan Lee. And we were right on the front. And it gets to the part where Luke's aunt and uncle died and they are escaping the planet and going to be, and Obi-Wan says, your father was a great pilot and a Jedi warrior. Luke said, I didn't know that. And he says, I have a gift for you. Here's your father's lightsaber. And Luke's like, whoa, how do I use this? And Obi-Wan says, Jedis use the Force. And Luke's like, what's the Force? And I'm sitting there listening with my sons. And Obi-Wan says, the Force is an energy that's all around us, always moving around us and through us, under us, over us, and connects us to everything and each other. And I was like, that's our teaching. That's what your great-grandpa taught me and what I tell you. And they're like, shh. Because I always told them when the movie starts, shh. Right? And I was breaking the rule. And I said, but that's our teaching in this movie. And they were like, shh. The movie started. And I was like, but that's what great-grandpa taught me. And so I became addicted to Star Wars, because if you watch the movies and you know traditional people's teachings around the world, you can spot it. And then Mandalorian came out. Woo, I have baby Grogu. And the Mandalorian, I always wear it. And I believe we're all warriors. And president gifted me these Mandalorian earrings, and because when I saw it, when we speak, we say, Tama Kwitsi to Snachum. Those are my words. But it also, as my grandpa said, our language is hard to translate into this horrid language called English. So it has many meanings. And Tama Kwitsi can also mean, this is a way. And when you watch a Mandalorian, the Mandalorian creed is, this is a way. There it was again. And when our elders teach us something, they always say, Tama Kwitsi, this is the way you cut the fish to smoke it. This is the way you cut it to can it. This is the way you make the cedar hats. This is the way you weave it to make the blankets and headbands. They say Tama Kwitsi in Squamish, and then the Hulkaninum have a similar phrase. Everyone does. So I share that because I wanted you to laugh, and I didn't get a good response. So our elders believe laughter is medicine and healing and relaxing. So now I'll ask you to stand. We're going to do Tai Chi and yoga. You're going to do downward dog. So make room for each other, and we'll move into the warrior pose and then the tree pose. No. I want you, our elders believe in the power of our breath and calming. And when we pray, you can't have your arms like this. How many took negotiation 100 when you did your bachelor's and master's in negotiation? That means you're blocking off whoever you're negotiating with. Can't have your hands like this or this, because then you're blocking your inner energy. And we want the energy to flow amongst all of us for the good medicine we're going to bring to the ceremony today. And our people believe in the power of breath, so just put your hands at your side, because I found the hardest thing is to keep your hands at your side. And if you go like this, your shoulders go in. So I can see you way back there. You just put your shoulders in. No. I usually do see when people do that. That's why I start telling the Star Wars story started telling our teaching and relate it to the Star Wars. Take a few breaths. We are going to do Tai Chi or yoga or whatever, breathing. Take a few breaths and ground yourself. Even though we're up here, we're still on Chesha Tameo, Mother Earth. Breathe and ground yourself, because there's lots of energy. I'm going to sing a part of Sequoia Slolum, Sequoia's song, my ancestor had. It's her song that the elders fixed to share on times like this. It's strong old medicine from the 1800s when she sang it, right? And we sing it, it's fixed to share with you. And if I see you put your hands together, I might come down and use you for my drum. No, don't be the first time I have to do that. Never had to. Well, I did once. So I'll just sing a part of it, then do the prayer, because I want to congratulate all the students and have good medicine for our gathering, like the song we heard when my family came in. Ho, 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 hey, ho, 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 hey, ho, hey, ho, 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 hey, ho, hey, ho, hey. Ah. Chen Kwan Mantomi Kakakanak Chaseyam Yonsio Onso Tanoyap and Manman Squalwin to squals to seats, asking you, Creator, higher power, to watch over and protect each and every one of your children as we hear the good words in regards to all the students and those on the platform here, and be able to come together in Chomot Squalwin with one heart and one mind for yet one halt up an excellent work today. And asking you, Creator, see everyone safely home at the end of the ceremony. Tuma Kwitsi Snachim. This is a way of my words.
Please be seated. Thank you for sharing that warm welcome and dispensing that good medicine for our work here this afternoon, Elder Sequoia. Elder Sequoia is a member, as you heard, of the SFU Elders Program, and she indeed is an elder to the President and myself. And I'd like to take a moment on our behalf to pay our respects to elders, past and present. Elder Sequoia. Thank you also to our cultural representatives from the Squamish Ocean Canoe family for getting us started in such a good way. Please join me in thanking them for drumming us in and welcoming us. And of course, no celebratory event would be complete at Simon Fraser University without the piping of the world-famous SFU Pipe Band. Please join me in thanking them for piping us in. I now invite Cleo June, who is a fourth-year student from the Faculty of Communication, Arts and Technology, to lead us in the singing of O Canada. For those of you assembled in Convocation Mall and joining us online, please rise if you are able for the singing of our national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Yes, please be seated. Thank you, Cleo. We have such talented students here at SFU. Thank you. I now declare June Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Today's program book, which includes the ceremony schedule and the listing of all graduates, can be found, you guessed it, online. Please feel free to follow along throughout this afternoon's ceremony. Madam President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, friends and family, my name is Tamara Vrooman, and I am privileged to be the Chancellor of Simon Fraser University. We're delighted and honored that you have chosen to join us for today's absolutely excellent final convocation ceremony for the 2025 spring class. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I'd like to pay particular acknowledgement to Ogwi'low'gwa Kim Recalma-Clutesi, who will be conferred an honorary doctorate of laws this afternoon. Please join me in welcoming her. Honorary degree recipient Dr. Nancy Turner is also joining us today. Welcome. SFU Board of Governors member Kamal Basra is with us, as well as Clan Chief Mark Recalma of the Qualicum First Nation, and Clem Bill White from the Snuneymuxw and Cowichan. Please join us in welcoming them all. Thank you for joining us today on the traditional unceded and continuously occupied territories of the Coquitlam, Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. On this shared territory on which our Burnaby campus sits, there are two Indigenous languages traditionally spoken, as you heard earlier today, Hunkaminam and Squamish. We're privileged to gather here on what is known in English as Burnaby Mountain, but which was first known as Tluklukwaitan by the Squamish people, which means where the arbutus bark gets peeled in the spring. And Saltoth is the Tsleil-Waututh place name for Burnaby Mountain. I speak these languages with you this afternoon to contribute to the revitalization, to enhance our collective learning, and to pay respects to those who have stewarded these lands on our behalf since time immemorial. Well, welcome everyone to this afternoon's convocation. As I said, it is the final convocation of Convocation Week 2025, so we're expecting it to be saved the best for last. No pressure. It's a celebratory event, and it's always wonderful to see all of the graduands gathered here with their friends and families for the happy day to mark this occasion. But you know, we do gather today at a unique moment in time. The future can feel quite uncertain for many. We face local and global challenges, from weakened democracies to the rise of new technologies to changing international landscapes. These are challenges, as we know, without simple solutions, but they're not impossible to overcome. I graduated from university, I won't ask you to guess how many years, dare I say decades, ago, with an undergraduate degree and a master's degree in history. And what history tells us is that sometimes people are called upon, whether they like it or not, to step up to the challenges of their time, to serve, and to contribute to building the systems that will shape the future. Take, for example, what is known as the greatest generation, the generation of my grandparents. These were young people who came of age during and after the Great Depression and World War II. Just like you, they grew up in an era of massive uncertainty and incredible social, economic, and technological change. And just like you, they were called. They were called to fight in World War II. And after the war, they were called to help decide what the post-war world could and should look like, how it could be better, and what their role would be in it. In fact, they put the foundation in place for much of the economic and civil society systems that we have today. Now, we know these systems are not perfect, but they have been systems to build on, to learn from, to improve. But now, they're in jeopardy. And so now, I think you will be called. Perhaps the systems need to just be changed a little bit. Perhaps they need to be changed and rebuilt from the ground up. But each of you can play a role in deciding what that will look like. You have the ability to be the next greatest generation that our times demand. And I believe your time at SFU has helped you develop the skills, the abilities, the perspectives to do so with courage, conviction, and most important, with care. Each of you received a unique and often interdisciplinary education. In our fast-changing world, I can tell you that's exactly what we need. We need people who can take their knowledge of philosophy and knit it with microbiology, who can apply their knowledge of world languages and literature and world cultural practices to new business ventures, or to statistics, or to sustainable aviation fuel, or to engineering, or to new ways of engaging, new technologies and ways of knowing. As you leave this ceremony, I encourage you to think about the future you want to create. Because after all, the future just doesn't happen. We actually create it. It may feel daunting. You probably don't even know exactly what that role looks like just now. But I know that you have the potential to rise to the call to serve. And each of us at SFU will be watching and cheering you on as you do. On behalf of the entire Simon Fraser University community, staff, faculty, and alumni, I want to offer my hearty and sincere congratulations for this moment that you've come to. But even more important, I want to thank you for the future that I know that you will create. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you. I now call upon the president of our university, Dr. Joy Johnson, to give her remarks. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. Honored guests, it is a privilege to stand before you today on the traditional territories of our host nations. And I want to say welcome. I want to say welcome to the parents and the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles and the friends and the little ones who are here with us this afternoon in Convocation Mall. And I want to say a particular welcome to our wonderful graduands, our incredible graduands who are here with us this afternoon. As the Chancellor did mention, we are living through a very unique moment in history. The whole world is in flux, as you know. Things are changing faster than ever expected. And the challenges that we face, and you know what these challenges are, they include climate change, an uncertain geopolitical landscape, and even threats to Canadian sovereignty. These threats, these challenges can feel very overwhelming. In this moment, as you think about the call that Chancellor Vrooman mentioned, the call to be the next greatest generation, you might be wondering, so what can I do? So to answer this question, I'm going to share a story from very early in my first career. Some of you might know that I began my first career as a registered nurse. This was before I became an academic and later a university president. And I worked in an intensive care unit in the heart of Vancouver. And this was in the 1980s, during the very, very beginning of the HIV/AIDS crisis. Before we even called it HIV/AIDS, and before we knew anything about what was causing this terrible disease. All we knew that there was a lot of young people, particularly young men, largely from the gay community, who were getting very, very sick. Some nurses and healthcare practitioners reacted to this situation with fear, and to be frank, with bigotry. They refused to treat some of these patients, and some stopped coming to work altogether. But I continued working, as did many of my colleagues. In that hospital, I saw unbelievable courage, unbelievable strength. I saw people show up every single day, no matter what, to care for their fellow community members. And I learned a lesson that day. I learned a lesson during those very long days, I should say, and I've carried this lesson forward with me into my presidency and into the rest of my career. And that is, during troubled times, when problems of the world seem too big to comprehend, there is always something that we can do. I don't know whether or not the work that we engaged in that Vancouver hospital changed the global conversation around HIV/AIDS, but I do know that it changed the lives of the people that we cared for and their families. It mattered to our community that we were there every single day doing the very best that we could. So I've been thinking a lot about the ways that we can all step up. And I've been thinking a lot about this community, about Simon Fraser University. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary this next year. And we have had incredible impact over the past 6 decades. We've been making a difference to our communities. And we need to continue to think about how we can continue to make a difference during these challenging times. Not surprisingly, one of the priorities of Simon Fraser University is to make a difference to British Columbia. We are, after all, a public university and have a responsibility to this province. And I'm particularly proud of the work that we've taken on in this regard. In particular, adding to the healthcare system through the establishment of the new SFU Medical School. But this priority is also about all of you, about all the ways that you have and will continue to show up for your communities, here in this province, but also around the world. We have an amazing group of students with us today that are graduating. Some are students who've lived in BC all their lives. Others, though, have come a great distance, coming from countries around the world to make this SFU community their home. As individuals, we might not have made a massive influence on international relations, but I do know we all have and have continued to think about ways that we can make a difference here at home in this community. We can have a positive influence on our communities by volunteering, by looking out for our neighbors, and by buying local. And the skills that you have learned at SFU are an important part of that work. Today, we are celebrating students who've completed programs in the Faculty of Education. This is a very important time for people who have this background. When we talk about making a difference for BC and our communities, it's hard to think of a better example than education and teaching. In classrooms all over this province, students are learning to read, write, and do math, of course, but they're also learning to share, to volunteer, to be kind to each other, and to value diverse perspectives. The students sitting in those classrooms today are truly the ones who build the future of our communities and the world. And as individuals who've been involved in the education system, studying it, thinking about critical issues related to education, I know that you have taken this responsibility seriously and that you also have the skills to shape the next generation of leaders and change makers. So very soon you're going to be admitted to your degrees and you're going to move on to the next chapter of your lives. And you're going to have the opportunity to think about what making a difference means to you. And as you do that, I want to remind you that you've got the skills you need. You have a community of alumni, faculty here at SFU to support you. And so no matter where you go from here, please know that everyone who's been part of your SFU journey is so very proud of you. So thank you so much for being part of this community, and congratulations. Now, speaking of students who inspire me, Madam Chancellor, it's now my honor to invite Vrooman Shadmayer, who's graduating today with a Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Technology and Learning Design for his Graduand address. After developing a virtual reality application, Vrooman researched the use of VR in training for autistic individuals. He is a technology entrepreneur, founder of Techies of Tomorrow, and the recipient of several awards. Vrooman is currently the Dean of Fine and Applied Arts at Capilano University. Please join me in welcoming Vrooman.
Wow. And as you can see, I'm very well prepared, so bear with me for another 45 minutes. President Johnson, thank you very much for such a great introduction. But don't worry, it's not going to be 45. I heard 17 minutes was the top. I just aim to break that record. So I had the honor of calling Canada home for over the 2 decades. And since then, I have been sharing this privilege with a lot of you, living, playing, learning, and working on the several lands of the Coast Salish people, especially Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, Squamish, and Musqueam nations. But you know what? Forget about my speech. It may sound a little bit self-centered anyways, but let me just share with you a little bit of life story, because at this point, usually people expect someone like me in this spot just give advice to graduates. I don't see my place here to do that. I don't think I'm even qualified to do that. So how about I just share a little bit of what happened, what brought me here, and perhaps take a time to thank the people who helped me throughout. Here it goes. When I was growing up, I was not even remotely expected to succeed, especially in academia. I was a bad student, actually pretty bad. You know what defines that? When you skip, actually run out of school in grade 3. So that's how bad I was. My family didn't even think I even passed high school. And that is actually real. They are watching somewhere on YouTube. And, but even when I decided to come to Canada in 2002, it was not to study. Study was just part of the plan. My main goal was to work at Electronic Arts, build video games. I kind of did that, so that goal is achieved, sort of. But the thing is, life never goes as you plan, and mine was no different. Choosing SFU was not difficult, though. I came here, I saw this beautiful campus, especially I love the seventh floor of the library, especially when the cloud is everywhere. It's an amazing view. Great programs, superb faculty, very, very supporting staff, and interesting enough, some of them are still working here today, and I really hope you had the pleasure of working with them. I started in computer science first, but then I took the advice of one of my profs and switched program, went to interactive arts. And that's how I actually got into electronic arts. Fast forward, I graduated in 2009. I left EA, started a business. I had the pleasure of actually partnering with a good classmate of mine. And I also took my mentor's advice. I started teaching. What was he thinking? He thought I can be a good teacher. Anyways, I started teaching at BCIT at the same time, and also a couple of other professors who, unfortunately, they are not with us anymore. They suggested me to join the master program in education department at SFU. Those two amazing profs may both rest in peace, Dr. Jeff Maddox-Jones and Dr. Kieran Egan. I listened to them, I followed their advice, and after 2 years, I graduated again from SFU. And I thought I was done. Back then, I was like, okay, business owner, somewhat, teaching at BCIT, good, but like everything should be fine, but who knew? Like everything else, new things come up. one of my professors, I was having coffee with her, Dr. Gadamachko. She said, you know what, you should go back to school, study PhD, especially in educational technology. What did she see in me? I really don't know. But you know what? The first time I took their advice, didn't hurt. I did it again. And it was a very interesting suggestion. However, in 2017, my first attempt failed, and very deservedly. The faculty had all the rights not to admit me to the PhD program. But what they did was actually guiding me, leading me on how to actually do it right. The second time I did it, and actually I do like to take the time and thank Dr. Kevin O'Neill. I know he's sitting somewhere. All right, there he is. With his help, I actually got to the program as well. And by the way, my supervisor, Dr. Williamson, really took a gamble on me. And when I say really took a gamble on me, I mean it. Again, remember, I was not a good student. Being a PhD student was not easy. And I know everybody's like, oh, we know that. But no, for me, it was not really easy. Being a student was not even easy. There were same challenges as usual, but however, this time I kind of got lucky because after 40-something years, I learned that I have something that is known to be high-functioning autism after 40-something years. This time, this actually helped me, and this was one of the best things that happened to me. Now I knew what the challenges are and how I can get around them. Fast forward last year, actually, I went to Interactive Arts School alumni event. I met President Johnson there. And of course, we shook hands. I introduced myself. She didn't believe me first that I'm a student. She was like, but you are a dean. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I am still a student at SFU. And this is actually, you are my third president. I kind of retired the other two, by the way. So what she said was, you know what, promise me to graduate before I retire. So President Johnson, I think I kept that promise. So here I am graduating from this great university for the third time and cannot be happier and more thankful. Although I would not be here without my parents from the very beginning, and who gave my life a beginning and supported me in every single moment of it. Azar and Bijan, I'm always in your debt. And also, I need to thank my best friend, Dr. Hirat Hosseini, also an SFU alumni. He badly wanted to be here today, but due to the very, very recent event, he got really preoccupied. So I know he's watching as well. I would not be here, and I would be lying if I say my accomplishments are mine alone. I have been inspired, encouraged, loved, supported, tolerated, and led by some great people. And may I ask them to stand, please. Dr. Williamson, my amazing supervisor, where is he? Over there, there you go. My business partner, my son's godfather, the genius Henry Leong, also SFU alumni. You need to stand up, buddy. I'm like, you're not getting away with this. And of course, my partner in crime, no, you're not sitting, stand. My partner in crime, my real boss, Tarane, my wife, you're gonna stand too. And of course, the best hair whitening solution of all time, the king of all motivation, and the reason I can celebrate with all fathers this Father Day, my son Kasra. Dude, stand up. Now you can sit down. Thank you. Now, finally, my fellow graduates, how am I doing with time? Are we in 17 minutes yet? Okay. If you really feel I should provide some advice, I am not qualified, but here are some few words. It is okay to plan and have goals, but life is full of curveballs. So play smart and adapt. It is okay to pivot and change your direction. I did it, it worked for me. Although there is no guarantee if it works for you, but give it a try. Don't refuse yourself of new opportunities. Just because you want to stick with your own original plan. Remember, perfection does not exist. Don't waste your time chasing it. Always have mentor and always learn. Losing is part of learning. Focus on your journey and really try to find a way to enjoy it, even if it's too damn hard. And finally, have yourself a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to everyone, not just fathers, everyone, and congratulations to you all.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you, Vrooman. I'm not at all surprised that your professors saw the potential for you to motivate and teach. Thank you very much for your address. As part of convocation, in addition to conferring degrees on our graduates, the university also confers honorary degrees. Degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievements, or in recognition of exceptional contributions to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Their achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration for all of us. SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor presented by our university. To present the honorary degree candidate, Ogwi'low'gwa Kim Recalma-Clutesi, I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Dana Leprovsky. Dana is a distinguished professor emerita in the Department of Archaeology. Dana.
Madam Chancellor, I'm so honored to present Ogwi'low'gwa Kim Recalma-Clutesi of the Pentlatch and Ogwi'low'gwa Nations. She's a former elected chief of the Qualicum First Nation and has devoted her life to upholding traditional Indigenous rights, values, teachings, and knowledge. Kim is admired as an academic, as a cultural mentor, traditional knowledge holder, artist, filmmaker, writer, and matriarch. Over the last 4 decades, she has advised local, provincial, and national governmental and non-governmental organizations about a wide range of Indigenous issues. She's deeply committed to helping share Indigenous peoples' values and perspectives to the non-Native world, opening pathways to lasting social and ecological justice. Alongside her father, the late clan chief, Iwandutsi, Kim traveled throughout British Columbia, Canada, and northwestern United States, advocating with and for coastal First Nations on issues like voting rights, residential schools, and the management of traditional lands and resources. She has worked tirelessly to ensure that the rich body of Indigenous knowledge, particularly related to health of coastal ecosystems environments, that they remain intact. Kim is guided by a compassionate and pragmatic approach in her work for reconciliation, understanding that by setting aside the burden of shame, settler colonial society will more fully recognize and embrace the truths of Indigenous traditions and rights. To that end, Kim has advised various governmental departments and ministries and designed cultural competency training for fisheries. She's advised archaeologists on the proper handling of human remains at archaeological sites. Currently, Kim is a cultural advisor on Simon Fraser University's Hayatai Laskidi Archaeology Project. She has served at the University of Victoria Senate and has advised on numerous master's and PhD theses, ensuring that our traditional knowledge is accurately and respectfully represented. Kim is an award-winning filmmaker, currently producing and directing a film about Quaxistala's knowledge and Kwakwakwa's seasonal harvesting rounds, titled Singing Through the Seasons. Her passion for media is further reflected in her long-time position as a board member of the Aboriginal People's Television Network. Madam Chancellor, I ask that you now confer on Ogwi'low'gwa Kim Recalma-Clutesi, a true champion of social environmental justice, the degree of Doctors of Law, honoris causa.
Ogwi'low'gwa Kim Recalma-Clutesi, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations. Dr. Recalma-Clutesi will be hooded by Dr. Dilson Rassier, Provost and Vice President Academic, and Tom Nault, Registrar and Executive Director, Student Enrollment. We all do.
It is now with pleasure that I call upon Dr. Recalma-Clutesi to provide the convocation address. Congratulations. All the best.
I need to first of all give thanks for the generosity of the Coast Salish people. If there's any lesson you need to learn today as students of education, it's this. The Coast Salish people are the most generous people in all of British Columbia. They house all of our major institutions, our seats of government, our major cities, all with grace, with dignity and generosity. And that has not always been the case. So remember that really hard. Wherever you teach, honor the host community, as I do in the biggest way possible. To the Squamish, to the nation of my dear late aunt, the Musqueam, to the Swalatoot, to the Coquitlam, to the Swasan peoples, I humbly thank you for allowing me to be myself on your land. As I did yesterday, I got up at the sunrise and gave thanks to the ancestors for being so generous, for allowing me to be here, to be who I am, to wear my own regalia in your land. That was not always so. In our lands, we always had to be cautious. And that's a lesson for everything you do in your life. You're mandated by the Ministry of Education to teach about our children, to teach about this history. Your most important thing is to remember the host communities and honor the lands where you are. My entire life has been answering to the elders, the ninokat, in our language, ninokat, the knowledge holders, the knowledge keepers. And it's really important. The first thing they would say is, do not be kakolkan. Don't be head smart. Be heart smart. In everything you do, balance that. Help those children that think in a different way. Kakolkan is sometimes what our old people are concerned when we go to university. They worry that we're going to be too individualistic. Sometimes we learn how to debate so well. We learn how to argue. We learn how to write really good arguments and work through this world. Balance that. Balance that as I have seen this institution balancing that knowledge. They've balanced those relationships in ways that are helpful to the communities, in ways that are helpful for the language. I so appreciate what you said and did in your opening remarks. Gela Kesla. In our world, both joy and sorrow are sacred, all of our cultures. And if we do not have humor, our ninokad always looked for a thread, a thin thread that connected us by either kin or by purpose. Always looking for a way. I'm looking for a way to be part of who you are through my aunt, because then I have to behave myself. You know, that's the main reason. That's what we can do with reconciliation. And when we work with children, look for that thread. It might mean that you graduated from the same class. It might mean you come from the same city. It might mean you have a kin relation. Look for those threads of connection. That is how we always begin every ceremony that we do. Every ceremony is to look for those connections so that we can then move forward and lay the foundation of our relationship and the work that has to be done to honor the ancestors, to honor our past, to honor our history, so we may move forward. We've had a little interruption in our past and in our history, but that cannot be the focus of why we do the work we do. I've always said we should not live with the blame and shame and guilt. There is no purpose in that. But we cannot forget the past, but it may not be the focus. We have to acknowledge this work. You know, more than 3.5 decades ago, my late father was kind of cranky at me. And he reminded me that I was making a big mistake. I was a mature student going to university with CM William White. And he asked me, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" So I sort of prattled on like a bit of a big shot, that I was going to finish this degree, do this graduate work, and end up teaching one day with a PhD. And he said, "I don't understand you, Ogwi. I don't understand. Your professor is right there." He was pointing to Kwaqsistala, Clan Chief Adam Dick, my late partner. He was secluded from residential school and was the last person on this entire coast who was trained in the stewardship of our land and all of the teachings around our ritual world. Kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he said, "You can do all of that. You've learned enough to be able to work with him." So on that day, I quietly walked away from my degree in history, and we organized some water taxis and started to comb the land. And through that time, I've worked with Dr. Nancy Turner, 35 years, my blessed sister, my late husband adopted her, Doug Dewar, and so many others, but those were our principles. The purpose was to catalog this great knowledge that he had of the natural and the supernatural world and how those two worlds intersect. What a privilege in education. Don't ever lose those opportunities when they come forward to you. Oftentimes, you know, we conducted for other families over 300 potlatches and feasts during that time, as well as countless expeditions. Probably 50 peer-reviewed academic papers were produced and co-authored by somebody who didn't read or write, because that was what Nancy helped us challenge Doug Dewar. It was his knowledge and his intellectual property. He should have been the author, not just an unknown informant, not just the primary, just the Indian who gave the knowledge. We really changed the landscape of anthropology and archaeology by virtue of this work and opened up the whys and the technology of the horticulture and the mariculture that was very sophisticated. Just simply, he would say things to us like, a geomorphologist scanned the coastline for 9 years trying to figure out rock walls that were on the coast. 9 years, asked every, sorry I use the term Indian because when I was born that's what we were called. And we've been called many other things since, but Indian is still, it's still what we're, I have a card that says that. He scanned the coast for 9 years. Nobody could tell him what these were. Because of the residential school and people interrupting that knowledge and training, that knowledge was lost. I showed a picture to Quaxi Stella. It said he's interested in this. And he said to me, it's a loqiwe. So what? Kind of like, well, you put bread, you put yeast in bread, right? So what? It was so commonplace, he was trying to understand why people were making a big deal out of it. The same with the root gardens. The same with, you know, we have the most complex carbohydrates known to man. Medicines that, antibiotics in our trees that haven't been identified yet. You would, tamoxifen, we were working with all of these things over the years. The medicines and the plants and the mariculture and the sophisticated way of gathering. It's really, really opened my eyes. I thought I knew it all. I was so kakulkan because I was a history student and I knew it all. But it wasn't until I went on this 35-year journey and I realized how very little we knew and how much the old people knew. Simon Fraser University has provided some incredibly interesting intersections for this knowledge, not only through the work they've done in community archaeology, in forestry, in linguistics, and in education, but many other places. My brother and I worked with our late parents 58 years ago as they installed radios in every village in British Columbia and parts of the Northwest Territories as a result of the Department of Communications of SFU having a brainchild only 2 years after the university was formed. That started something that changed the entire trajectory of our people. We did not have telephones 58 years ago in more than half of our villages. We had only been granted the vote literally 7 years before. There were still residential schools open on the island, and yet this brave new university began a communications network that provided communications to our people, that opened the political and the social and the social justice worlds for our people from this time forward. I like what I see here. I like how the nuqat, the knowledge keepers, are treated. I like how the qumala, the elder women, are treated. I really love how the ninoksola are being treated here. And I love that it's not crossed between lots of different cultures. You allow us to be who we are, but your foundation is steadfast within the Coast Salish territory. I'm going to just thank you tonight for this great honor, because my late partner would have said, you've gathered from the north, you've gathered from the south, from the east and the west. We breathe the same air. We drink the same water. We really are one when it comes to it. And when you honor yourselves, when you honor me, when you honor others, you're honoring our teachers. It's not an individual thing. So I thank you on behalf of my teachers and my ancestors for this great honor. And I'm so glad to have finished what I started 35 years ago. Gila Kesla, what's it?
Thank you. That was fantastic. Well, thank you so very much, Dr. Recalma-Clutesi. Thanks for reminding us to think about the threads that join us together. Thanks for reminding us of the past and some great history at Simon Fraser University and the importance of partnership and understanding different ways of knowing and weaving that together. And we are so very proud that you are now a member of the alumni of Simon Fraser University. Congratulations. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we take immense pride in welcoming our new graduates to this vibrant community. And I'm delighted to invite Carmen Ho, who received a Bachelor of Science in 2017 and Master of Education in 2021, to formally welcome the graduates. Please join me in welcoming Carmen.
Thank you, President Johnson. And good afternoon, fellow alumni. Congratulations to all of you. Today, you officially join SFU's global alumni community with 200,000 plus members in more than 145 countries. The same passion, energy, and creativity that propelled us at SFU continues to drive us in all that we do today. We are committed to making a difference and to building a future that is more inclusive and sustainable. You are now ambassadors for SFU wherever life takes you. Along your journeys, you will also inspire current and future SFU students to dream, to excel, and to fulfill their own purpose. We are here for you as you move forward and excited to see what you will accomplish. We encourage you to stay connected to SFU and to take advantage of more opportunities to learn and grow. Following today's ceremony, please visit the alumni tent in the AQ Gardens to pick up your SFU alumni graduation pin and keep it as a symbol of your incredible achievements and connection to SFU. Congratulations once again, and welcome to SFU's outstanding community of alumni.
Well, thank you so much, Carmen. So the members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. So here's the question, graduates. Are you ready? I think you got a B. I think you've got to try harder for the Chancellor. She might not admit you otherwise. So graduates, are you ready? So much better, so much better. So will the graduates please rise if you are able? Stand up. Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are now recommended.
Thank you, Madam President. Before I begin the formal part of admitting you to your degrees, where you actually go through and graduate, I wanted to draw your attention to the blue caps that many of you are wearing. Each cap has a tassel, and in your case, the tassel is hanging to the right to signify that at this very moment, you're still a student. But once I admit you to your degrees, I will invite you to move the tassel to the left, as mine is, to signify the important moment of actually graduating. So, third time's a charm. Are you ready? That's more like it. By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Congratulations. You know, it is the last convocation ceremony of 2025, and it's a little cold here, and so we're going to take some of Elder Sequalia's advice, and we're going to up our game a little bit. I really would like you to cheer with the best cheer you can muster for your congratulations, graduates. So when I say congratulations, graduates, you're going to cheer. You ready? Yes. All right. Class of 2025, congratulations. Excellent. Please be seated.
Oh, that was very energizing. Thank you, Madam Chancellor. Oh, so the members of the graduating class here in Convocation Mall will now be presented individually to the Chancellor, but first a few requests for those of you who are joining us in the mall today. Today is indeed a day for celebration. So family and friends, we welcome you to applaud, to cheer, and share the joy that you have for your graduate as they cross the stage. But as a courtesy to others, we'd ask that you please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. And graduates, after you have crossed the stage, I'll invite the doctoral graduates to join their colleagues on the platform, and to all other honored graduates, and this is very important, out of respect for your peers, please return and remain in your seat until the end of the ceremony. I want you to think about the individuals seated in the very back row there, our graduands, often with a last name ending in a Y or a Z. We'd like to be here for them as well, so I encourage you to return to your seats and cheer on all of our graduates. So, now the moment we've all been waiting for, the degrees in the Faculty of Education will now be presented.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education will now be presented. Dr. Estella Carli-Kuchta. Supervised by Dr. Sean Blankensop. Dr. Estella Kuchta is also the recipient of a Governor General's Gold Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Natasha Rudix, supervised by Drs. Danielle Moore and Ferlot Giles. Dr. Natasha Rudix is also the recipient of a Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Rosaline Dhaliwal, supervised by Dr. Stephen Smith. Dr. Denise Finlay, supervised by Dr. Hasan Bai. Dr. Stephen Chow, supervised by Dr. Hasan Bai. Dr. Kathleen Forrester, supervised by Dr. Beth Marshall. Dr. Daniela Rose Des Ordons, supervised by Mark Fettis, Dr. Mark Fettis. Dr. Ming-Yi Lin, supervised by Dr. Lynn Fells. Dr. Ramin Shadmer, supervised by Dr. Robert Williamson. Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Education in the Faculty of Education will now be presented. Dr. Karen Alvarez, supervised by Dr. Vicky Kelly. And Dr. Chelsea Laird, supervised by Dr. Kamari Beck. Madam Chancellor, the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Education will now be presented. Shanzi Atlef. Balraj Dhillon. Vaiz Dokani. Saba Gauss. Chuen Xiao He. Lindsay Heller. No Lei. Katie Lisakowski. Chukwudi Nobodo. Samantha Spence. Tasanlia Varai. Benjamin Vandergooten. Saima Alamgir. Charu Aurora. Elizabeth Baker. Christina Billingham. Christina Cantafio. Wen Chen. Cheryl Chung. Kim Judith D'Souza. Angelina DiFonso. Nazrin Fatipur. Carolyn Garno. Chu Yue He. Taylor Heemskirk. Andrew Isaac. Gregory Jung. Renee Kerlook. Madison Lewis. Samuel Murray. Gina Parks. Raman Parmar. Laura Peterson. Amy Rose Reed. Brittany Sidhu. Jackie Tran. June Wan. Paul Wilson. Hanwen Zhang. Mingqi Zhang. Takuya Umeki. Madam Chancellor, the student who has completed the requirements for a graduate diploma in the Faculty of Education will now be presented. Anna Korolchuk. Madam Chancellor, the graduands of bachelor's degrees in the Faculty of Education will now be presented. Justin Lowe. Justin Lowe is also the recipient of a Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Ryan Adamowski. Jasleen Aluwalia. Tamkin Ahmedi. Lucilla Abigail Alice. Heba Akhatib. Michelle Usker. Gurpreet Atwal. Cheyenne Atwood. Harkia Baines. Ashley Balaban. Jaspreet Bath. Mariah Battiston. Ashley Bell. Marissa Claire Bergeron. Sydney Barrage. Gurpreet Bandal. Ravneet Bangu. Wenjia Bian. Hannah Belinsky. Imraj Bolduk. Lucas Baumhoff. Tyler Bourne. Emily Bozak. Erin Boyd. Jaslyn Bratch. Bal Brach. Navdeep Brar. Alexandra Brekkus. Karen Hapach Booman. Kyle Bukowski. Anna Maria Caicedo. Sierra Carrero. Jacqueline Surf. Milandeep Chahal. Morgan Chambers. Maya Chan. Anjali Kiran Chand. Michelle Chandler. Shaila Chandra. Tiffany Chow. Jasmine Chawla. Simrit Kaur Chima. Hao Chen Chen. Patrick Chang. Sasha Chi. Mary Jin Cho. Ashley Chow. Eric Christensen. Amy Chu. Corrine Clark. Alicia Cooper. Jonathan Cornelis. Samuel Craig. Jessica Crompton. Megan Chicos. Cameron Cunningham. Gurney Kaur Dial. Megan DeLangen. Danilo Jose De Hoya. Metab Diol. Taya Davari. Jeevan Daliwal. Gurleen Daliwal. Avinash Singh Dutt. Harpreet Desi. Julie Dixon. Nicole Dreger. Naomi Duffus. Gwendolyn Elliott. Aaron Eng. Jacob Evoy. Ryan Farnworth. Cami Fazan. Sarah Fedorsky. Kayla Fischler. Alicia Sofia Flores. Sydney Fournier. Melissa Franken. Gurkirat Gadri. Vanessa Nicole Giles. Aman Gill. Gundeep Gill. Max Gingras. Noah Gokita. Madeline Gomes. Madeline Gom. Jasmine Gonzalez. Tamara Kamari Gopal. Gurleen Garaya. Neelam Gosal. Gurpreet Kaur Grewal. Kiara Bree Gunderson. Nylan Gunnis. Danica Hall. Emmett Hossel. Cole Hama. Alexis Harlar. Alexandra Hawker. Komal Hire. Parminder Heer. Krista Hire. Gemma Hickey. Corin Hoff. Tia Hong. Danae Marie Horchek. Sierra Dawn Hudson. Tamara Hummel. Braden Thomas Lawson Hunt. Joanne Huynh. Brittany Ingham. Rochelle Ivany. Amanpreet Jita. Khalifa Jiwakupur. Emma Jorson. Lawinder Kaur. Abigail Mobutu Karaoke Kibarita. Jane Kim. Jiwon Kim. Susan Kim. Yoojung Kim. Joanne Kirkley. Yesun Esther Ko. Mirella Kovacevic. Amanda Christensen. Janelle Kropp. Gurkirat Kular. Aliyah Kumar. Alicia Kumar. Priya Lail. Monica Lambatten. Hannah Lawrence. Kristen LaRosse. Anna Lay. Julia Lee. Yejie Lee. Carolyn LeMay. Savannah LaRue. Nina Lasani. Luis Marie Lasad. Matthew Liu. Carmen Liang. Nicolette Liebelt. Kristen Lindsay. Samantha Brooke Logie. Bryson Logie. Stephanie Long. Emily Lougheed. Madeline Audrey Lowe. Katrina Liu. Carly Catherine Mack. Imuke Madar. Greg Mayer. Camille Manaxa. Martin Marasegan. Michelle Markin. Candace Mayer. Nicole Mayer. Ben McConkey. Amber McCoy. Dylan McDonald. Bailey McInnes. Sonia Michael. Jonah Miller. Alicia Mills. Jennifer Mazzara. Devin Mitchell. Shukri Muhammad. Ariana Ilham Mojadidi. Magdalena Molenda. Tyler Moore. Irene Hipolito Morzo. Laura Munro. Lara Mirren. Megan Ney. Haley Nermo. Grace Newfield. Heidi Ing Ho. Jasmine Ing. Caitlin O'Neill. Rachel O. Medina Osmanzai. Leanne Ostapovich. Faria Oishi. Jack Palm. Sienna Songhye Park. Haley Parker. Tanner Pauls. Hayden Peeling. Taylor Pennykid. Cassidy Phillips. Danielle Pomeroy. Amira Puni. Sonia Prasad. Link Prince Hensold. Namita Puri. Faith Radke. Emily Rao. Johan Rego. Catherine Reed. Jacob Reese. Madeline Rendell. Adam Rennie. Natalie Robinson. Leah Rorsma. Nico Rosalie. Chloe Rowett. Sarah Rebotham. Li Bing Ren. Christina Salvador. Opinder Kaur Sambi. Jovine Kaur Samra. Taranjit Samra. Amandeep Kaur Sandhu. Shafali Sandhu. Jaspal Sangara. Jessica Sangara. Philip Saucier. Kyla Savage. Katrina Scott. Stephanie Sen. Paige Sarer. Carly Severson. Miranda Samantha Svera. Madeline Shaw. Camilla Shelby. Hannah Shields. Deanna Short. Madeline Smeal. Catherine Margaret St. Arnaud. Cassandra Stodd. Shayna Stoker. Nicole Strain. Lesbia Nubia Carolina Straker. Jessica Sodiro. Karen Tam. Azra Techpar. Preet Tandi. Megan Tice. Subhashini Tirumaini Govindra Rajan. Nella Thomas. Melanie Taranzo. Chuknuktan Chat. Rachel Upton. Michaela Van Hatten. Warren Van de Ven. Jyoti Vankadari. Navjit Kaur Virk. Anna Walker. Sheena Walker. Tony Amanda Walraven. Macy Warburton. Mairead Ward. Riley Webster. Laura Weir. Naomi Welch. Nina Westra. Tasman Wheatley. Catherine Wingerick. Sophia Wojtowicz. Alyssa Wong. Joshua Wong. Shauna Wong. Riley Wood. Bradley Michael Joseph Wright. Jani Wu. Salina Wu. Manny Xie. Jennifer Yik. Tala Youssef. Nadia Zahar. Tasha Zivni. Erica Zuasola. Alexa Zenobia Rodriguez Adams. Catherine Alvarez. Adriana Austin. Megan Bebbington. Isabella Bergeron. Peyton Bly. Taylor Bonifazi. Rajveer Brar. Alessia Cagnoni. Francesca Canova. Heisu Ta. Cassandra Chan. Yuan Chang. Hong Yu Chen. Huiwen Cheng. Allison Conihar. Olivia Ann DeRosier. Julia De Palma. Marco De Palma. Bailey Dorohoy. Amari Flores. Arista Florito. Jasper the Bus Fong. Mujda Alemi. Priya Gill. Christina Grady. Margaret Graydon. Cynthia Guimaraes. Catherine Mary Harper. Royce Liang. Fiona McGuire. Amy Mann Campbell. Sarah McDermott. Rachel Chi Yan Ming. Michaela Mori. Elaine Mai Nago. Emma Pashak. Gurkirit Rai. Cassandra Reno. Carmen Rosenthal. Mariam Salah. Stephanie Sheena. Solomia Stratinska. Molly Symington. Nikki Tabatabai. Natalie Tam. Danielle Vergara. Victoria Varelli. Haley Wallace. Alicia Maria Walton. Elizabeth Yelland. Ha Young Yu. Kaylee Yoon. Rehana Youssef. Gabriel Zama. Madam Chancellor, the student who has completed the requirements for a diploma in the Faculty of Education will now be presented. Lucas Anker.
I have to tell you, there were a lot of cold hands that I shook just now. So listen, will the graduating class please rise if you are able, and that includes our PhD graduates who've joined us on the platform. So I want to tell all of our graduates that I'm so very honored that you're here today, and I want to congratulate each and every one of you. The completion of a degree is an impressive achievement, and I would encourage your family and your friends to communicate their hearty congratulations to you by whatever means. And for those of you online, in the mall, and on the platform, please join me in applauding the June 2025 graduates. Okay, so now I invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty, staff, and everyone who have helped you along the way. Please be seated.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. This completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some graduates recommended by Senate for degrees today are unable to be present, and therefore their names have not been read out. I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. Please join me in congratulating them in absentia. You know, events like these don't just happen. It takes countless hours, mostly by volunteers, to put together a day that is as special and memorable as the one we have had this afternoon. And so I'd like you to join me in thanking all of the students, staff, faculty who have volunteered their time to make this a special afternoon for each and every one of you. Thank you to our volunteers. Honored graduates, family, and friends, you're now invited to attend your faculty reception, where we look forward to continuing the celebration. It is Friday afternoon, after all. Please rise if you are able and remain standing at your places while the platform party behind me recesses. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2025. I bid you a good afternoon.
Congratulations once again to today's graduates. Our ceremony has now come to a close. For the safety of all in attendance and to reduce crowding, we will exit Convocation Mall, beginning with the graduates at the front and our guests seated at the middle and back. Our ushers will help guide you out of the mall row by row. Please remain standing if you're able until an usher cues your row to exit. Graduates in the front rows and guests in the back and middle rows, please proceed with exiting now. Thank you once again for your cooperation and for attending today's ceremony.